All right. Well, I guess let's switch gears from the boys' league to the men's league.
Yes, sir.
Um.
Hey, also real quick, shout out to my man Dion for what he's doing at Colorado already with his recruiting. My man is killing it in the portal. He can make boys mad, man. But I just saw something earlier and it came to mind, so I had to mention that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All right, man. I know we've been seeing it all week. Well, past couple days. I didn't say all week. Well, beginning of the week. Um. I know we kind of regurgitating and things of that nature, but I just don't feel right if we don't say something about Monday night. Um, yeah, I mean, first off, T's and P's to his whole family and Bill's organization and whole NFL family, everybody who's been affected by this. Uh,
Absolutely.
Definitely T's and P's. Um, yeah, I turned the game on right when like everybody was surrounding him on the field. I didn't see the hit. I didn't see the
Mm.
play. I didn't see what had
Yeah,
happened
I was
at
watching
all.
it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
That was
Um.
really
the
unfortunate.
Okay, so since you were watching it, can you give us a little perception? Like I said, I didn't see it, and I'm just going off what everybody said because I can't find the video. Everybody took it down respectively.
Yeah,
What did you see? Everybody said it
it
was a
was
routine
it was
tackle and
routine,
just
man.
normal.
I do want to add in there. The Bengals offense was kind of humming. But yeah, no, no, no,
no,
no.
they
So
were. They
we
were.
drove down, we scored. Some kind of way that shaky defense was able to hold uh, Buffalo to a field goal because they were rolling too. And then we get the ball back. You know, I keep wanting to call him Andy Dalton. I don't know why. It's crazy. Joe Burrow hit T Higgins on
Hmm.
something across the middle. It was like at the 50-yard line, and he took a few more steps in his run, and just a natural collision. Granted, Damar was a little high. They teach you to hit low for that purpose because you don't want to have your chest and your head area exposed. But he hit
Mhm.
him high. T. Higgins kind of got underneath him and routine tackle. He went down, he got up, and then he just collapsed backwards. Like we nobody's ever seen anything like it. I personally haven't.
Right.
Um, I talked to my dad, my stepdad. They're both 65. They've never seen anything like it. So
Hmm.
I didn't really know what at first. I'm thinking maybe he got a concussion or
That's what I thought. Because like
you
until they
know
showed the replay, I thought T Higgins' helmet may have caught him on the chin.
right.
So
He kind of
I
did
saw it
get
too.
him. Yeah,
Yeah,
it kind
like
of
I
did.
saw it live
Granted, I
too.
don't think it was malicious or
Nah,
illegal,
nah,
but
nah, nah, nah.
Yeah,
just in
yeah.
their
No, I
natural
didn't hear that
motion,
either.
he kind of caught him underneath his chin, and then he fell, and he got up, and he just collapsed. And
Yeah,
of course, with all the millions and millions of hours of football I watch, I figure, maybe at worst, they bring out the card, they get him off the field, and the game continues. When they kept coming back from break, and the ambulance is just on the field, and they're
Right,
not
right.
getting him out
See,
of there,
and
at
see, and
that
that's
point,
what
I'm
I
like,
seen. I seen all of that.
this is kind of bad, because they went to commercial and they came back. They went to commercial, then they came
Yep,
back.
I
They
kept
went to
seeing that.
commercial. They
Hmm.
come back, and the ambulance is still on the field. It hasn't moved yet. So I'm like, there has to be something
yeah, more
seriously
to it.
wrong
Hmm.
outside of just your normal, head injury, ACL, Achilles, things like that. So, uh, yeah, just a bad situation. Definitely keeping him in our thoughts. So shout out to Damar Hamlin, and hopefully he makes a full recovery.
Yeah, you said you was watching it too live, Justin.
Yeah, I saw it. Hmm.
Okay, all right. Like we got Ike back. But yeah, so again, like I said, I don't want to go through everything. All I know is that like he got CPR,
Yeah.
um, defibrillator, all that good stuff. Got him to the hospital. I know from what I heard today, he has a breathing tube and like
Hmm.
his lungs is 50% at 50% capacity right now. They're trying to get
Hmm.
him to 100, just getting back breathing on his own, things
Well,
of that nature.
shout out to University of Cincinnati Medical. That's a very
Yes.
good hospital, and he's in very good hands. So
Um, and another thing I want to say is too, like, good thing, like, to like shout out to that staff. Like nobody's
mhm.
leaking information. Like normally by now somebody leaks something or is, something crazy, but they've really been keeping that under wraps and being very, very good to
And
the
they got straight
families
to
of them
helping
too.
them, straight to
Yeah,
helping them. They say 89% of the people who go into cardiac arrest outside of the hospital pass away.
yeah.
So he's a very lucky guy right now. So I'm just hoping that he pulls through and makes a full recovery. But yeah, that's some crazy stat that I read today. I believe it was New York Post. Don't quote me on that, but yeah.
Okay,
I,
so
no, I
um,
just gonna say I think one thing too that like I think people are forgetting just because of how mental this thing is. Man, you also got to keep in mind what that mentally may do to T. Higgins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though it wasn't his fault, as an athlete, when you go and you do something like I seen a boxer, what's his name, Chris Ubin or something like that. He's an older boxer, and I literally seen a post today where he hit a dude with a mean uppercut, and I
Hmm.
guess gave him long term brain damage. And like it was his first time ever meeting him, and I think it was like 20 or 30 years after that. Like first time I actually seen him since then, and dude
Hmm.
just started bawling and apologizing for it. And I was like,
Yeah.
and it just kind of reminded me. I said, I think we also people forget there's somebody on the other side. Not saying that one is more important than the other, but also
right.
remember that mentally, what that could be taking its toll
Hmm.
on Higgins as well. With
Right.
something like that. So
Just to be in a situation where
yeah,
you're kind of always attached to that
yep,
situation,
Yeah, you're
that
gonna be
can be
forever.
kind of
Yeah, and those two teams, period. Like, I mean, like
yeah,
watching somebody get CPR, real life. Like you done
yeah.
seen TV shows and medical show, all that stuff. But like somebody that you know, like think
Hmm.
about the Bills organization. Somebody that you know, somebody that you done suited up with, somebody you've talked to. You probably met his mom and think because his mom was at the games and they and he been playing most of the year because they safeties have been hurt.
Right.
Poyer and them have been hurt most of the year, so he's been playing a lot and like somebody that you really know is right there. Like you really watching
And
them
you don't know.
fight for their life. And
Right.
when I seen that, like you said, when they kept going back and forth from commercial and stuff, like first thing came to my mind was like, are we about to witness prime time, the only football game, millions of
Yep.
people watching, the whole world watching? About to watch somebody pass away on the
Yep.
football field. That's what I thought. But I
Yeah.
was happy once I did see the ambulance leave and they started talking, more optimistic about the situation.
Right.
Made me feel a lot better, but that was crazy. I
Yeah.
don't want to dwell too much on that. I do want to get to the what we posted in our group chat. Do y'all agree with that notion? What he was saying, like about the NFL? Do you feel like the NFL handled this right and gonna continue to handle this properly down the line?
Can I start off with that?
Absolutely.
So I feel like they did. Yeah, absolutely. I do also feel that they should go ahead and make a decision on what's going to happen with the game. They did announce that it is not going to resume this week. I don't know if that means that maybe next week it'll resume. But I think part of completing, I feel like they've done everything right up until now. Go ahead and announce what's going to happen, whether it's a tie, whether it's a no contest. Whatever the situation is, I feel like that'll just help everyone just get past it. I personally obviously want to see him recover, but I also want to know like what's going to happen, and they haven't really said anything yet. So I think that'll be the closing to an amazing scenario of how they handle things, post, that traumatic event. So I'm definitely
Okay.
curious to see how they do it. Again, I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. I
Mhm.
I can't recall. Um, it happens to be a very important, because for example, like Justin with the Ravens, like we don't know what's going to happen with the division.
yep,
You guys could beat us Sunday and win a division. You guys could beat a Sunday and still lose the division.
yep.
We really don't
All
know. So
depends.
I just think they need to just dot the I and announce something, going forward. But everything else has been perfect in my opinion so far.
Okay. So, what do you think, Ike?
I mean, I I don't know. I'm skeptical of big companies. Like I feel like the only reason they didn't continue the game is because they could sense the potential backlash for
Oh,
continuing.
100%.
Probably something.
Like they were
I,
pressured into like And honestly, it could have just been the players like, no, we're not playing. Like I don't know for sure.
Right.
Like
Did you hear him?
there's not been much.
Did you hear the 5-minute announcement that the
Yeah,
NFL is
Yeah,
trying to backtrack out
and I
of?
think,
yeah, and
and
said
I
there was no
think, I
announcement.
think the
Two
NFL.
separate outlets said, 5 minutes. ESPN announced it, and then I read that
Joe
Westwood
Burrow was
One
warming
announced it.
up.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
the
exactly.
NFL trying to save face.
Yeah,
Somebody high up,
they be lying for sure.
somebody
Oh yeah.
high up got the word to
These leagues
I
be
was like,
lying.
yo,
ESPN.
we can't do this. Like this can't
Yeah,
happen. Like
they be lying.
there's no way we can finish this game. And my bad for whatever technical difficulties
No,
I
you
have
could.
continue to have.
Good,
But
bro.
to go back, I was watching the game with two of my frat brothers. Um, all of us have fantasy implications on it. This is championship week. Them two are
Mhm.
playing in the ship because my team took a shit in the semifinals. But I was in the third place game. I've got Joe Burrow. I've got Diggs. I'm 30 points down. And then instantly, like, none of us cared about fantasy.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That shit was completely irrelevant. Like, initially, it was just like, oh, he must have got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah.
Yep.
They started talking about CPR. We like, yo,
Yeah.
I don't
When I heard
give
that
a
AED
fuck.
was involved, I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
like I couldn't care less about
Yeah.
what happens in this fictional world. When this man's standing in the field, like Brandon said, essentially fighting for his life. So it just that to me was a testament to how serious it is. Like I've been playing with these guys for they started the league 12 years ago. I've been in the league for 10. Like it's legit serious for us and for each and every one of us, literally at the same time. To be like, all right, we was at a bar, J.R. Crickets, all got up. And was like, all right, we gotta go. Like this, none of this matters anymore.
This doesn't feel right. It
And
just
we just
didn't.
kept
Nothing
looking
else
for
felt right.
information to be like, yo, is he okay? That's the only thing that mattered, literally for the next day and a half. And I think that's what got to the NFL. Somebody was like, yo, because they definitely were warming up. Joe Burrow was warming up. I seen it. I was
And Diggs
watching it.
was trying to rally his team together, like on the
Yeah,
other
so
side. Like,
somebody was like, no, we can't do this because we are
and
going
actually, I believe it
healed.
was McDermott.
yeah.
It was the Bills
Coaches
coach.
definitely played a
Was
role
like,
in
look, I
it.
can't.
sure.
I have to be at the hospital with this guy. Like, I can't coach this game.
Right.
And that's when the two coaches came together and they just decided, like, look, let's go to the locker room. We're not playing this game.
On top of you've got players like you guys were saying who are literally watching this, man. Like they don't have the heart to go in and play this game anyway. There's so many other factors. There's so many things that are so much more important.
Your thoughts are with your brother. Like,
Yeah, right.
how can you don't even know if your brother you won't gonna ever see him again. Like,
So
that's
to go out
tough.
there
How
and
do you
try to
play
play,
a game after that?
no, you can't.
Yeah, that's gonna be on their mind the whole game. So no, they can't go play this. I'm okay with them not saying anything yet because I think they're still trying to at least hold out and say be able to say he's okay before they.
I don't
make
think
some
the
kind of
game.
decision.
I don't think the game.
I
will
don't
be
see how you
played
make it
before
up.
I don't think the game will be
they
played
can't make it
before then. Until they know that he's gonna make it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how you announce anything about that game.
Well, I feel like that wouldn't be the holdup because I feel like both teams are gonna play this weekend. So I don't think it's a matter of him being. I just don't see how it's possible because if you
It's not
if
unless
you
you
try
literally
to
push everything back a week.
Especially with
that
this
that's
And the, and the
that's not a
NFL
good
not gonna
idea.
do that.
And then if
It's
you
gonna
and then
cost
if
them
you
too much
say
money.
if you try to sneak it in between week 17 in the first round of the playoffs, no, or week
No.
18 in the first week, no.
NFL ain't gonna
Okay.
lose
Both
that.
teams will probably turn that down. Like I'm not. What am I going to
Yeah.
play a game on Wednesday and expect to play in the wild card on Saturday
Yeah,
or Sunday? That's not going to happen. So they really just need to go ahead and say, either it's a draw or whatever.
I just think it'll be. I think
Yeah,
it'll be
and close it out.
a no contest since both teams
That's what I'm
decided
thinking.
not to play the game.
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
think
thinking.
the only thing you can do is just do a no contest. That's the
Yeah.
only thing you can do at this point. Like you said, like Ike was saying, like I just think the vibe of the league, like the league is reading the rest of the country, the rest of the
Absolutely.
world, and how they're
Absolutely.
perceiving this. That's how they're proceeding to move forward. That's why they're really trying to cover up that 5 minute thing.
Yeah, trying to
Because
cover it up.
it,
Yeah,
It
we
barely
didn't say
helped
that.
them
Like,
with
where'd
that.
they get it from then? They just ESPN just
made it up. Yeah,
there's
just made it up.
there's a league official, somebody very high
Yeah.
up who gave the word,
Yep.
and they're trying to protect that person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know how they do, and the sad thing is, even with that, is so not only do you have that, but one thing people ain't gonna talk about, it's like everybody right now, let's just be real. Everybody right now is playing that part of caring about him.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it this way, but we all know some are just playing a part. Like
Absolutely.
they don't care because there is also big money ramifications from this because there's a lot of money that was being bet on that game too. See, that's the
Mm-hmm.
other thing. So you got to realize, depending on that decision, if they can't play it, now you have your DraftKings, FanDuels, and all them. How are you refunding money?
If
No,
I'm
Even
not
they refunded
mistaken, they've
already.
already
I'm on two of them.
sent those refunds.
did they? Okay, I was
They are
about to
refunded. Yeah,
okay.
I
Okay.
had a bet on Burrow, like 300 total yards, Singletary 60 total yards, and I actually hit one of them because it was either Boyd or Higgins touchdown. So
Okay.
I was on the way to getting paid, but no, they refunded all of that already.
And then I had
I
another
think
buddy
you
of
had
mine
to
was
do
saying
that.
that they're definitely going to finish the game because too much money was on the line outside of the bets. The money, the check cleared. Like ESPN got
Yeah,
their money, NFL got their money. The
yeah,
time
yeah,
slot
yeah,
was
yeah.
filled.
Yeah, that's
The
what I
ink
was
was
actually
dry.
gonna
Ain't
say
nobody
because
really losing. No
from
players
an
are losing no
Nobody
money.
hurting.
from an
No
advertising
announcers.
perspective, that's all paid before
Yeah.
actually before the
Oh
season.
yeah.
All ads,
Yeah.
all that's done before the
That ink
season.
dried. The
They getting their money
commercials,
back.
the advertisements still got their slots in.
And
Ain't
if any,
nobody.
Maybe
Okay.
they lost stadium money and
Yeah.
refunded those, but that's more team specific, and that's more going to hit
Right.
Cincinnati than
yeah,
anybody
Right.
else.
Okay, so speaking about money, again, the video that we put in the group chat, do y'all agree with him? I don't remember his name. What he was talking about, how, like, outside of everything we just discussed and everything that we know about the situation up to now, like, chances are I just don't see him playing again. Like, he was only in the league 2 years. He hadn't got a second contract. I think he was playing on like $160,000 contract. Like,
That was a
yeah, man. It
signing
was
bonus,
just
and then
yeah.
his
It was
yeah,
his,
that's
signing
a
his
second
bonus. Yeah,
pay
It's a
was like
second round pick.
850 or something like that.
yeah. So like, what about the long term and just knowing again the NFL and how their lack of empathy for players no longer producing for them? Do y'all think that this changes some type of precedent with pensions in the NFL?
Nope,
Yeah,
nope.
that's just collective
Anything
bargaining. They're
else?
not doing
They're
collective
not. They're
bargaining right
not.
now.
They're not going to renegotiate that until next time for the collective
Yeah.
bargaining agreement. Period. They're going to tell them this is what you agreed to, and that's that. So,
Yep.
and,
And I think
and then they're going to push back and say, as far as honoring the rest of his contract, that falls on the team.
Yeah.
Kind of
Well,
like
I'm
the
sure
insurance
the
Super
team.
Bowl
I'm
this
sure
and
the
year
it,
with
team is gonna
with the
pay him. I'm
Steelers.
sure.
insurance
Yeah.
is going to take care of that.
Yeah, I feel like because he was in the middle of a 4 year, $3.6 million contract.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean
They're gonna pay that out.
that's
I don't
chump
see
change.
them.
Like they're
I
gonna
don't
Oh yeah,
see
they're
the
different.
Bills.
for
But
certain
I'm
figure that out.
I'll even say this though. Like you remember with Ryan Shazier, how Pittsburgh, how they kept him around for those years and
Hmm.
continue to pay him and whatnot. My I guess even for me, like in this situation, is he ain't even making that kind of money.
Mm-mm.
So
True.
you know what I mean? So like really what he's made is I mean, let's just be real, it's really not a whole lot of money.
No.
I pray that medically speaking, this young man is all right. Like for real,
Right.
like
Yeah.
he don't need nothing extra.
And
But
that's what I'm talking
if
about.
he
Like
had
down for like
yeah, like
continuous
if he
care.
needed something like for real, like ongoing, I would hope, although I have zero faith and confidence, but I would hope the NFL would kick in, even if it
They
had
know
to
that.
do with them and the Bills or whatever, to kind
Right.
of
Right.
help that young man because this happened. I mean, it's workers' comp. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it happened during
Yeah.
a work
Yeah.
event.
Like,
So
like
But
one of y'all said, there's definitely some insurance in place. I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Like
yeah. He
they're not
has
just gonna
something.
say, well, here's your check and buy.
but
Yeah.
they have done that. If you look down the line, if you look at players who had CTE cases and
Yeah, I
different
want to pay
things,
them,
Hey,
boy.
you ain't on the
they
clock no
they
more.
they still
Yep.
got like thousands and thousands of pending cases where they supposed to be paying out CTE claims that they have
Uh,
not done.
Yeah, I think
you
the
ain't on the
limit is
clock. You
only
gotta
like
wait.
maybe 60% of those are paid. Maybe.
Yeah,
But like
Yeah.
we
yeah,
said,
No,
Hamlin
was that
Hamlin
high?
was Hamlin was clocked in when that happened. So
yeah.
it's
Yep.
gonna be a little bit different than him being 40 and saying, "Oh man, I got CTE." A
Right.
little
But
different.
but
But
then you think about, like, all right, he's 24. His kids going to college. Like literally the rest of his life. Like his family. Like
well,
you can't just.
people donated what $6 million to this foundation.
Yeah, but that's
So-
a foundation. He can't
No,
really
I'm not
just
saying he
take
gets
that money
that,
and be
but
like, all right, it's mine.
people are generous. So, who's to say that, he wouldn't get another GoFundMe, after, or something I don't know.
Here's the thing.
I hear what
I
you're
don't even want
saying.
to talk
Not
about
to
it
carry
because I
through
hope
the
it's
rest of
not
his
the
life.
case. Yeah,
Me
like,
too. I agree with you,
I,
Justin.
I don't
My
That's
hope
why I'm
is for
trying
him
to, like,
come
I
back,
wanted
not only to
yeah,
full health,
me.
but to playing
to
football.
play again. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want him
Absolutely.
to be able to get back on the field.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because but mentally,
I think but I think that's one of those things that you,
that's tough.
even if him stepping on the field and he only plays like another year or something like, I think
Yeah.
it's mentally it's one of those challenges where he would even tell himself, I got to do it, even if it's just to get over that mental roadblock
Right.
of what happened last time I was on.
And if the doctors can clear him,
Yeah,
That's
he'll
it.
come
I
That's
back.
what
think,
I'm
that'll help,
That'll help.
Obviously, I don't think he's going to take any risk.
And I
but-
think it'll help the NFL PR wise too.
Man, fuck the NFL.
I know we feel that way. I mean, everybody feels that
Nothing
way.
about
But
that.
I'm
They're
just
gonna
saying,
lie
like,
and lie and be shiesty.
exactly. But
fuck
it
the
looks
NFL.
good when.
That's the last entity I'm worried about.
But I'm
Got
just
that
saying,
right.
it just looks
Got
good for
that
them
right.
Hamlin,
when
his family,
something like
the guys
this
that was on the
happens.
field, the Bengals, the Bills,
Right.
the fans,
No,
and then the
Staff.
NFL way down.
Yeah.
but I just know that, like, for them, they're gonna be looking at it like, hey, if this man gets back on the field, it's a boost for us
They better stay out of
because
No, he'll be in a commercial. I mean, like real talk, he'll be in a commercial. NFL's gonna monetize him and monetize his name.
That's ridiculous.
that's what I mean.
But at the end of the day, again, I ain't talking. I can't stand the NFL as a company, as a corporation. Like my man Ike said, all these big greedy companies and the way they do
Exactly.
And these
people
owners,
and these owners, like man, get the
$1
heck
billion
out of here.
owners, yeah, absolutely.
give
I
me the
agree.
players, give me the fans.
Yep.
Give
And,
me
you know,
everything
like-
outside of NFL. That
I just want passion, love attraction, let me live that shit. Going outside, I just like passion. Stay in the classic, running from the madness. If you can catch me, I just want passion, love attraction, let me live that shit.
Phone charge on its last light. Same clothes on from last night. Still lit like it's last night. Young living in the fast life. Young. Smoke cloud from the ash pipe. Catch air from the half pipe. I need to send a phone from the shows with the mansion. Chandelier dancing. Counting a Branson. Yeah. Been had hella Franks when it's ballpark figures. Might be in the field, but I came from the trenches. You can tell it's my time, look at better squint. I do like the charm on my wrist, let me flip. Want me pay the way, I'm the wave, I'm authentic. Sitting courtside, got a sprain, nigga. I bring the gang for the gang. Nothing but a thing when I sing. Young Usain, I sprinting. Getting fresh prints. Counting a blessing on blessing on blessing. They call me the reverend, y'all nigga play too much.